everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. Today we're going to be tackling the big subject that is ships. I'm actually going to be breaking this down over two different videos just because it is quite a big subject to tackle. The first video we are going to be focusing on new player ships, so people who are coming into the game mode for the first time, just kind of giving you a general overview of ships and how to understand them, because they are quite a bit different than the way the characters work, and then also the things that you need to be focusing on as you finish up the leveling process. The second video, we're going to be looking at the teams you should be farming to be successful for early game, but also mid game, and then working towards in-game ships as well. So I think that will be a really good one for quite a few people to kind of look over, to kind of get a handle on the best ships that you should be going after to be successful in different game modes, especially Fleet Arena, Grand Arena, that kind of stuff. So if this is your first time here, though, please hit that subscribe button for some more Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes content in the future if you find the guide helpful. All right, let's hop over and get started. The first thing that I want to look at is just ships in general. Now, there's two different types of ships in the game. They have regular ships, it's going to be more like your attackers, tanks, support ships, just kind of like your characters are in the game. And then there's also a special type of ship called a capital ship. Capital ships don't necessarily take damage, but they do play a role in the ship battles as more of a support role. So we'll kind of go over those in a second. The first thing I want to look at, though, is just the regular ships in general. Most of these ships have a pilot or pilots attached to them, and then they are going to play a key role on the power level of the ship, which is going to affect the stats and then how hard the ship hits, that kind of thing. So the first thing that pilots have an effect on, each one of your crew members, if there's multiple crew members, have an ability attached to them. Those abilities can be upgraded and unlocked by the power level of your character, or the gear level of your character, up to, like, I think gear level 10 is where it maxes out, where you can upgrade those completely. And you upgrade different abilities with the ship ability materials. So much like your ability materials for your regular characters, they are ones that are specific for ships as well. And so you have your regular abilities down here, you have the one associated with your crew. And then one thing that is unique to ships is ship battles start off with 3 different ships on the field, instead of like your character battles start off with 5. And then ships, actually, you can call in up to 3 more ships into the battle as well. And when these ships come into battle, they have an ability that's going to affect the battle itself as they come in. So this is aggressive approach. This is what Anakin's is. So it grants all Galactic Republic allies offense up for 2 turns. So that's going to be a very effective move for your Galactic Republic allies as it comes in. So that's one thing that can be upgraded as well. That will also help the overall stats of the ship to make it more powerful. Now let's look at the pilot itself and kind of go over how they affect the power level of your ship, and then make it the stats of that ship go up. So they do it in 2 different ways. One is very simple. It's just the gear level of your character. So if you have a character that's gear 12, or you start taking it up to relic, it's going to increase the power of that ship and make it more powerful as you're using it in your ship battles. The second is mods, and mods do it quite a bit different than how they affect your character. So if you thought like a god mod, speed mod in your characters, maybe like a +20 speed mod, well, it's not going to affect your ship in any way, shape, or form as far as the speed's concerned, based off the speed on that mod itself. Mods affect ships by their dot level. So if it is a 6 dot mod, it's going to be better than a 5 dot mod in there as far as giving your power level. That's going to affect the stats, including speed on your ship. And then you want to make sure that those mods are leveled up to 15 as well. So ideally, newer players in the game, you're going to want 5 dot mods that are geared up to level 15 to be on your pilots, because it's going to make your ships more effective. So that's the 2 ways that pilots focus on or help your ships going into battles. And then also, as far as just leveling up, they are very similar to your characters as well. They can max out at level 85. That's based on your actual player level, as far as how high that you can level those up. And then also they have star levels just like your characters do, so you're going to be farming those blueprints to upgrade them all the way up to 7 stars. All right, there are a few ships in the game, though, that are quite a bit different. They are pilotless ships. I recommend these ships early on because it's really, really nice not to have to give up a character to have a good ship. And these power levels increase based off of their moves, their level of the ship, and then making sure that your star levels are high really helps these ships quite a bit. This ship, my Hyena Bomber, is maxed out, and it is a tank and a half. It takes a lot to get this ship out. So I definitely recommend where you can use these pilotless ships early on, do that, because they're just a lot easier to get to max level and have really, really solid use out of them. So definitely recommend those starting off early. Just not having to worry about pilots is really, really nice. All right, the last thing I want to look at is the capital ships, and they are quite a bit similar to your regular ships. So your pilot level is going to play a huge role on these as well. And the main thing that you're going to want out of these, as far as power level is concerned, is the speed. A lot of times early on in the game, you're going to be doing mirror matches with your capital ships, and you start off with 3 different options. You can do Tarkins, you can do Home 1, or you can do Mace Windu's capital ship. So a lot of times people go after Grand Moff Tarkin's ship here. It's the one I recommend for early game players, and you're going to want to be able to outrun those other capital ships. So that plays a huge role. The capital ships also have leader abilities. Being able to max out these are very, very important, and most of these are based off the gear level of your pilots. So you're going to want to make sure that you upgrade those as well. And then they have different abilities down here. A lot of them play different roles. So like Mace Windu's ship is more of a protection based ship where you're doing more survivability to make it through the battles than like Grand Moff Tarkin's ship here. This is more of an all-out attacker ship. It does stuff to like buff your characters, and then also does a lot of damage, ability blocks, those types of things. So they play different roles as far as assisting your ships as you do battle. All right, so next thing I want to hop over into is just the main focus that you should be doing as you're completing the leveling process, and that is going to be working through these challenges here. So fleet challenges. Actually, let me hop over to my alt account here because it does have some of the things that I've already completed on my main account that I can't see over there now. All right, so this is where you upgrade your capital ships. You can get them up to 6 stars as you're leveling through this process and completing up the capital ship stuff. Then also it's where you get your shipbuilding materials, so the credits to level up your ships, the training droids, and then ship ability materials. And the main focus, and I cannot emphasize this enough, is you need to be able to get the ship materials completed to where you're able to sim the Zeta materials. And to do that, you're going to need dark side ships and Grand Moff Tarkin. So dark side ships are needed to get Grand Moff Tarkin to 5-star, to get his ship to 5-star. So I definitely recommend early on farming dark side ships. I recommend Geos. We'll talk more about the ships in the next video, but it's something that's going to be a main focus because this is the only place in the game that you can consistently farm Zeta materials every week. You get 6 every week by doing these challenges, so you're going to be able to do that as fast as possible. So after you get Grand Moff Tarkin's ship unlocked, you can use whatever as far as the ability is concerned, or as far as the ship material challenge is concerned, but you have to have it at 5-star, and to get it at 5-star you need dark side ships. So that needs to be a main focus as you're going through the ship leveling process. Like I said, I recommend Geos. I think that they're a great starting point to get that challenge to unlock and start getting those Zetas farmed. All right, last thing I want to touch on real quick is just the fleet battles themselves. These are some of the most important nodes in the game. So especially towards the end, there are some really good characters that you're able to farm from hard nodes, but it's also where you get a lot of the materials when you start getting characters to gear 12 and start going after your first relic characters. You're going to need to be able to farm those materials. So you're going to want to work through these, and building a solid team to do that is very important. We'll talk more about those teams in the next video, but it's going to be a focus that you're going to climb through these fleet battles and work through them because they are quite challenging towards the end. Especially tier 4 and 5 get quite hard to get through, but when you get through those, You want to be able to 3-star those so you can start simming those battles. It's really, really important. Now, as far as Fleet Arena concerned, the only thing I will mention there is it is a great source for new players to get crystals. A lot of people kind of throw ships to the side and do not focus on ships. And where you may not be able, especially with the Hyperdrive bundle inbound now, you may not be able to compete in your regular arenas that much right now. You can compete in fleet arenas, and we'll talk more about the teams to do that in the next video. I believe that you can at least be getting top 50 and getting some extra crystals every day, even going against Hyperdrive bundle players quite early if you're smart and farm the correct team. So I hope this has been helpful for you guys. There's a lot to kind of cover with ships, but I hope this kind of gives you a general knowledge of what you should be focusing on and just how ships work in general to make them more powerful so you can actually win those battles against other players. But like I said, the next video will be focusing on the teams that you should be farming going forward to really kind of set yourself up to be successful in Fleet Arena and in Grand Arena, as well as and also completing those in fleet battles that are pretty tough to do. But that is it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you do, please hit a like or smash that like button down below, and I will see you guys in the next video.